Hey friends, this is Hannah from the blog and website Hannah B. Flute. I am here today to share with you some of my favorite iPad accessories for musicians. So I have been using an iPad for I think 8 years and have used it for music to some degree since then. However, I only really got serious about using it consistently about 2 years ago or so. And in that time, I have learned about some of the accessories and tools that make the iPad either easier to use, more convenient, or just are nice to have for whatever reason. So if you like this video and want to see other videos like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. I always appreciate that. And without further ado, let's get into some of the accessories. So first one is on the iPad itself, and that's this little cover here. I just have the Apple cover and then open it up to see my lovely flute. But I know a lot of people do get something that covers the back. When I bought this iPad, I was lazy and bought the cover. I may get a case, although who knows how much longer I'll want to use this particular iPad. I'm kind of holding off until I potentially upgrade at some point. I don't have any plans to right now, but you never know. And I don't want to spend, $100 or even part of $100 on a new case. So I'm just really careful with it, but it's good to at least protect that screen with something like this. This is an Apple iPad cover, but you can find plenty of other brands online or in person at an Apple store or wherever you get your iPads. The next one is a must-have. That is the Apple Pencil. I have the first generation because that is what is compatible with my iPad, but you might get the second generation, so make sure you know what is compatible with your iPad. This is really nice because I can write in Fourscore, which is my sheet music app of choice, and annotate, and it's just like writing on paper. I don't have to manually enter annotation mode like I would with an off-brand stylus, or if I just was using my finger. This, I just put it on the iPad screen and it starts writing, so that is really nice. You do have to charge it, so you just pop this guy off and place this into your iPad. It also came with an adapter so you can charge it like you would charge an iPad with a cord, but I never do that. So those are the things I use every day when I use my iPad. Occasionally, I will use this guy, which is a Bluetooth foot pedal. So you turn it on and you put it on the floor, just a very convenient place right in front of your foot. Not where you want to place your foot because you don't want to rest your foot on it, but you want it to be easy to reach so that you can just with your foot, I don't know if you can see this, but it slightly goes down, so you tap it just with your foot to page forward. You tap it on this side to go backwards. So if you're playing a piece that has like no convenient page turns or even half page turns, which is what I do a lot of the time in Fourscore, is it'll turn half the page at a time. If you want to learn more, I have a video and or a blog post on Fourscore. But yeah, so you can just tap on these instead of having to like reach up and hit the screen on your iPad to do whatever works. The one concern with this is I have heard that the Bluetooth connection can kind of be wonky at times, so when you're doing it, it might have a delay, so you might not realize it and you might hit the thing twice. Because of that, after the delay, it will go forward twice. So that's just something to consider if you're going to use this. Practice with it a lot and make sure it works. Make sure you know how you need to do it. If I have any other option, I will use that. This is just a last resort. I have used it in my own practice, but never in a performance or rehearsal. So just, again, lots of things to consider. So the next thing is charger. It should come with your iPad, but if the cable breaks, if you lose something, if you buy your iPad used and it doesn't come with one, or whatever, for whatever reason you may need to buy one, make sure you have a working charger. You may want a second one to leave at home, one to leave at school, or one to leave like in your music bag. That way you always have it. Of course, you do have to charge before a rehearsal, before a performance. So that is, again, something to consider when using an iPad. But it's not that big of a deal if you create a routine. Like I have an iPhone charging routine. Every night I charge it. So just create a routine. Every morning is usually when I'll charge my iPad because I'm not using it when I'm working, or I'm using it at my desk. So I have, you can see a little lamp that has an outlet, so I'll just plug it in right there. The next one I don't have to show you because I don't actually have it, but what I've heard is that the AirPods Pro can be a good accessory. I mean, any AirPods, AirPods Pro, third-party earbuds are good in case you ever need to listen to a recording or maybe edit your own recordings on the go. That way you don't have to worry about disturbing people. But the thing about the AirPods Pro specifically is that it does work with Fourscore, which is that sheet music notation or sheet music reading app that I and a lot of other musicians use. I've heard that if you put your AirPods Pro in, you connect it both to your iPad and to Fourscore, you can turn your head to the right, to page forward, turn to the left, to page backward. And that way you don't have to worry about like a foot pedal, which could be nice if you're a piano player, could be nice if you're just in a situation where having a foot pedal isn't practical. But I imagine it probably has a lot of the same potential Bluetooth connectivity issues as the foot pedal. So it's just something to keep in mind. I also wouldn't recommend buying it just for, Fourscore. If you're in need of a good set of earbuds, then maybe consider it. But for just Fourscore, it's pretty overpriced, the earbuds. They're like $250. So just something to think about if you want to use earbuds for more than that, might be worth it. So the next one I own, but I didn't actually get out to show you guys, and that is a MIDI keyboard, so a piano keyboard. Oh my god, my hair, what's it doing? Anyway, sorry. A MIDI piano keyboard that comes with the cable that you connect into your iPad. So I've had one for about as long as I've had an iPad, and I've used it a few times, not a ton, but it's nice if you don't like entering notes on the screen, but you need to record or write music or something on your iPad. You can connect it, just press on the little piano keys. The keys are a bit smaller, at least on mine, than they are on a piano. But you could get a bigger one, a bigger MIDI keyboard that would have full-size keys. That's especially good for like piano players or composers who want to work on an iPad. I do have another electronic instrument, which is this guy. This is a digital mini aerophone from Roland. It's kind of a cheaper version of the like electronic woodwind instrument, the EWI, from forget what company. But this, you place your fingers here. These two are pinky keys, and these here, and then on the back there are two little octave keys. So you octave up, octave down with your thumb, a little thumb rest, and a little place to put a neck strap. And you can play this like, I think the fingerings are more closely related to recorder fingerings, but you just play it. I haven't turned it on. You can play it on its own, or you can connect it with USB, and I think also Bluetooth. So you can connect it to your iPad if you want to record or write music that way, which I think is pretty cool. That's a nice option for woodwind players. And then brass players can also use, maybe not this one, I think this one, and a lot of these, you just use the left hand, because that's I'll use for brass, or maybe just the right hand. I'm not really sure. I haven't tested out playing it like a brass instrument. But woodwind players can use this. Obviously, if you're a string player, you might have an electric violin, electric cello, whatever. And that's a good option for recording and inputting music into your iPad. So these are just some of the best iPad accessories for musicians to have. Obviously, the accessories you get will depend on how you plan to use your iPad. If you just want to use it for sheet music, you might buy an Apple Pencil and a foot pedal, and that's it. You may not need a MIDI keyboard or another electric or electronic instrument, or vice versa. If you plan to use it for composing, you may not need a Bluetooth foot pedal or an Apple Pencil. So I hope these tips were helpful for you guys. I will leave the links to everything I talked about in the description, so please leave a like and comment and subscribe for more videos every week. And I will also leave a link to the coordinating blog post in case you want to learn more about that. All right, thank you guys. I will see you next week.